Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Sudip Maite, interview mastery expert. Welcome to the Classroom to Boardroom Talk Show, episode number 14. We have gathered here to enlighten you about the different ways by which the transition from classroom to boardroom can easily happen. We'll discuss about the hurdles or challenges that come along the way. Take charge of your career. Also, listen to this different eminent person who have excelled in their own field. Today, we have invited one of the industry's top leader who has approximately more than the 2 decades of the industry insurance sector experience. He is a member of the insurance industry. He specialized in process reengineering, automation, and medical underwriting. Besides being a fellow of the Insurance Institution of India, he is also an associate of Life Office Management Association US. Today, we'll discuss about the topic called career in insurance sector. Let me welcome Mr. Santosh Shinde, ABP Insurance Operations in this particular talk show. Welcome, Santosh, in this particular talk show. And Santosh, so my audience wants to know about yourself. If you can introduce yourself briefly, tell about your story, so that would be really helpful for them.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sudeep. In fact, and good evening to all of you. Thanks, Sudeep, for this opportunity. I'm honored to be a part of this session where my experience of almost 2 decades will be helpful to everybody, and I'm sure they will take some points and not make the same mistakes which we did in our initial careers. And that is the reason. I mean, I am here, and you have invited me here. About me, my name is Santosh Shinde. I'm based out of Mumbai. I work for one of the largest insurance companies, that is Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance. About my background, I'm based out, as I mentioned, I'm based out of Mumbai. Uh, I have done graduation in BPharm from Nasik Government College, and after that I got admitted. I qualified basically GATE exams in 1998, and through that I got admitted in Jadavpur University, Kolkata, where I did my post graduation. Now, after my post graduation in biomedical engineering, then again that point of time there were a lot of challenges because there were no forums like this forum to guide us, and typically it was a herd mentality. Whatever my friends were doing, I just followed them, or whatever I was doing, my entire group followed us. And so, I mean, there were very limited career options, and even if there were, we were not aware of that. Wherever uh, float took us, we went there, we did the things. Though, I mean, now if I, in hindsight, if I look back, I think that I would have done a lot of, I mean, I would have avoided mistakes if I was aware of what is happening around. uh, and I'm sure now with internet and all the information available at your tips, you will be avoiding such mistakes and with a lot of career choices. So after doing my post graduation, again, since there was a quest for job urgently, it was required. Then I traveled back from Calcutta to Pune, and I joined the pharma industry because my graduation was in pharma. Then initially 6 years I worked in pharma, but again at that point of time, because pharma industry was also not opened, and not many companies were investing in R&D and other things. There was limited scope to grow. So, and at that point of time, insurance was a new sector which opened. Basically, if you know, from last 6 years, there was only one insurer in India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, and in 2001, private license was given to private insurance companies, and that was a boom for insurance from 2001 onwards. So many of my friends were a part of insurance, and they were inviting me. I mean, saying that it's a very lucrative career and there's a lot of growth and future is good. So after 6 years of my experience in pharma, at one point of time, I decided to take a call and switch over to insurance. Then I joined one of the topmost insurance companies at that point of time in medical underwriting. Again, as I mentioned, my background was pharma and with a lot of knowledge of medical. So there is one department called as underwriting, which I joined and started my career in insurance. About different departments, of course, I'm going to cover in latter part of this forum, and that is how my insurance career began. Then from ICICI Prudential, I moved to other company and so on. I mean, that is the reason. I mean, I'm here today. I'm currently managing operations in Aditya Birla Sun Life. Part of operations like it's a policy servicing. So once your policy is issued, whatever happens to that policy till it is matured. So typically, term of the policies are 15 years, 20 years, or maybe 30 years. So everything is managed by me and my team based out of Mumbai. So that is what that is all about me. Uh, in the meantime, I also got myself certified. I'm a fellow of Insurance Institute of India and also an associate of Loma, which is a US based institute. So that is my career about. That is the background of my career.
Thank you, Santos, for your brief introductions. Yeah, so let me move forward. So, yeah, and I want to know. So, might be though in your career journey, as you told already. So, there is a lot of hurdles, lot of challenges. You don't know what to do in your life, correct? Even though you have completed
Yeah.
your masters in biomedical engineering. So I believe that how you can overcome that particular challenges. Is there anyone is there, or you have any mentor or coach who has guide to you take these sectors job initial days and move from here to
Yeah.
there? Is there anyone else there, or might be the what is the way you have overcome those challenges?
So Sudip, as I said, I mean, hello. So
Yep,
unfortunately, there were no forums like you are attending, you are conducting these days. There were no forums, and hence there was
there
no
might
guidance.
there might be the network glitch.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Are you able to hear me now? Yeah, you are audible now.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So Sudip,
okay,
I was
yeah, go
telling
ahead.
that I mean, in 2000, 2001, there were no such forums which you are conducting now, and hence it was difficult to get guidance. And with limited knowledge available around, so it was just a herd mentality. Wherever flow took us, we just followed it, and at that point of time, whatever we felt, whatever it is good, we just jumped into that, and that is how we learned. I mean, initially 5 6 years. Now, if I look into hindsight, I would have avoided those mistakes. But yes, I mean, at least this is a good forum to share my experience, and I'm sure others will benefit from it. Forums like this are going definitely going to help others. Thanks for
Definitely.
conducting this and helping me share my experience with everybody, Sudhir.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and here we are here exactly help to the people. So those who are the new generations, we want to help to them so that they should not face the similar kind of the situation, whatever the situation we have faced in our career journey. So they can
Correct.
easily overcome that particular challenges, and they can find it out or figure it out what could be the suitable pathway they should take forward in their life. So yeah, my next query to you, so Santosh. So as you are in the insurance sector for the quite long times, what are the three main types of the insurance are there in the market?
Yeah. So I'll give overview of insurance, how it happens in India, and typically what are the different types, so that when we discuss subsequently, we'll get more idea. Now, I'm with life insurance. Typically, in insurance, there are three types of companies. One is life insurance, other is health insurance, and third is general insurance. Now, as name suggests, I mean, the name itself is self-explanatory. Health insurance typically deal with health insurance. Typically, you have medical policies where if some ailment happens to you, you get hospitalized, and as per terms and conditions, amount is paid to you. So that is medical. Then life insurance typically deal with death insurance. So that is their main coverage type. So if there's any unfortunate death, then the sum assured or the cover which was opted for, the life insurance company paid to the beneficiary. And third type is general. Now again, general is a vast field where there are many multiple branches to it, like fire insurance, house insurance, vehicle insurance. So there are multiple things, and that's again a booming market. So in fact, insurance itself, the penetration is very less in India. and it is expected that it will grow between 10 to 15% over next 3 years. And still, it is an underestimated value. It is going to just grow exponentially from here. So, as far as companies are concerned, as I was telling you, there are 34 non-life insurers. Non-life, again, I'm saying general and health insurance, and there are 24 life insurance companies. So overall, there are 57 insurance companies, including a giant life insurance corporation of India. Now, as I mentioned earlier, from 2000, a license was given to private insurance companies, and then they started taking market share from LIC. So currently, though LIC remains dominant, because of entry of private insurance, they also have a very, I mean, though their base was very large, they are growing almost at par with private insurance companies, even though their market share is depleting because of private companies. One good advantage of private companies happened is more focus on term insurance, because during LIC days, of course, we would have always focused on money back plans. After 5 years of after 10 years, you will get so much of amount, which are ideally that is how our agents sold insurance to us. With the private companies coming into action, they wanted specific products where customers will be attracted, and that is where online term plans were born. So term plans in India are one of the cheapest plans available, and that was one area where private companies focus so that they will get the share. And that is because of that, you and me and all are getting benefited because of term plan.
Great, great. Yeah. So, yeah, so as you told exactly, so I want to know what is the future of the insurance industry in India in the current moment, or might be the, as you told, the 10 to 15% there is a growth in the insurance industry next 3 years. Okay. So, what
Correct,
kind of
correct.
the growth you are seeing that in the insurance industry?
Yeah.
So, do you think
So
that the
as I
many
mentioned,
other, yeah, go ahead.
yes. So as I mentioned, the penetration of insurance is very less in India. The
Mhm.
regulator here is IRDAI, insurance regulator is IRDI, who is constantly working on how it will be if penetration will be increased, especially to rural areas, and how more number of people will be benefited because of it.
Mhm.
As I mentioned, the insurance industry has witnessed exponential growth with private participation since 2001. It has a mix of public and private players, both in the field of life and non-life business. The insurance sector not only provides a protective shield to lives and assets of the nation, but also it generates thousands of jobs and career opportunities. About life insurance industry, it is expected to increase at a CAGR of around 7 to 8% in next 1 year, and of course after that it is going to be between 10 to 15%. Uh, Penetration is just at 4.2%. That was in FY21. And non-life insurance is just at 1%. Though government is pushing, IRD is also trying, giving its penetration is just 1. So this shows that the scope, the future of insurance. I mean, if you compare India with other countries, other developing countries, we are behind by at least 4 to 5%. So it has to be at least 6 to 7%, but we are just at 1%. So that is the potential of insurance in India. As far
Okay.
as premiums are considered, premiums from Indian insurance industry is expected to reach 24 lakh crores by FY25. 24 lakh
Mm.
crores. So just imagine the potential in this industry. In first half of FY22, life insurance industry recorded growth rate of 5.8% compared to 0.8% in the same period last year. So imagine growth from 0.8% to 5.8. That is how the industry is growing. As far as first year premium is considered, it increased by 6.94% to around 2,27,188 crores. So that is how big insurance industry is, and there's a lot of scope of growth in future.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. So yeah. So insurance is booming in India. India. So those who are really want to build their career in the insurance sectors, So definitely you can jump into the insurance sector because it's a booming industry, and maybe the as you told, so next 2 to 3 years, so there will be the growth rate will be the very high. So if someone wants to build their career, so they can jump into that industry. Yeah. So, do you think is there any kind of the special degree is required? So, if you get into the insurance industry, or no? So that is the normal degree. Any degree is okay,
Yeah.
advisable for you.
So
Yeah.
so in insurance, there are multiple departments. As I said, insurance, even if you see the product is not a simple insurance product. You buy any insurance
Mhm.
plan, there are a lot of things that will keep on happening in the entire product cycle. So, typical example, you buy money back plan. Policy is
Yeah.
issued, then there's something called as free look period where you have option to cancel it. And every year you have to pay the premiums. Every year you get some communication from the company. Then there are different statements how your fund is growing. Then there's something called as survival benefits which you get at the end of the term is over, you get maturity amount. So so it's a single plan which runs over 20 to 30 years, has lot of milestones in between, and for every milestone there are multiple departments at backend which are working on it. Now, if you want me to explain what are the different departments available in insurance and how, so typically if you ask any layman, I mean, there are a lot of people who ask me where do you work. When I say insurance, they just take back saying that are agent hai lagta hai, I mean he is going to sell me a policy, but it's not that.
Yeah.
Insurance is not only about agents. What we are exposed to is only agents, and there are a lot of things that keep on happening back end continuously to ensure that the customers requirements are satisfied, whatever his requirements are, how to make his life simplified, how to make his journey seamless, how to make everything available on website so that he can go and do all his transactions without him requiring to call a contact center or sending a mail, because that's a very uh, what to say, I mean, that's not a good thing that customer calling your contact center, then there's a waiting time and then there's auto responses giving him, so that's irritating for him. So if everything is available on a customer portal or website, he can just log in to portal at any point of time and do his transactions. So when I'm telling you this, I mean, you would have got an idea of what are the things that happens at backend. Now, at broad level, there are two types of jobs in insurance. One is front end and second is back end. When I say front end, it's basically sales job where uh, they they connect with customers, try to pitch insurance. Again, in India, insurance is always pushed. There is low because of low awareness. No one comes proactively, especially in life insurance. No one comes proactively and asks for insurance. It is agent who keeps on following with you for insurance, which should ideally not be the case. Even for vehicle insurance, you will never go and proactively buy any insurance, but you buy because it is mandatory by law, and you are always afraid that if cop catches me, I will have to pay the fine, and that is that fear because of which you buy insurance. Ideally, that should not be the way. We should have at least one term plan. We should have at least one vehicle insurance. Of course, that is mandatory and we buy it. And of course, mediclaim insurance, because we never know what will happen. So it is best. We always think that there is no point investing premium now because I'm young and nothing will happen to me. That is not the case. At young age, you buy it and definitely the premiums will be lesser throughout your life. So you should immediately start investing or spending part of your salary into insurance. Now, when I'm talking about different departments available, as I said, there are two types of jobs: sales and non-sales. In sales, basically, they connect with customer, pitch the product, and it's not about only pitching. They also service customers. In future, if there's any request or if any renewal premium is to be paid, they will connect with the customers and help him to complete his requirement. Now, again, in sales, there are multiple channels available. Now, again, channel is a different source through which company operates. One is, of course, agency channel, where advisors are there and they will get insurance premium for the company. The other is banca channel, banca assurance. Now, in this channel, typically insurance company has tie-up with various bank. So, if you happen to be in any of your branch, bank branch, there will be people who you will come across, they will try to sell you insurance. So that channel is called as banca assurance, and they directly operate from the partners, banca partners, uh, from their own premises. Then other platform is direct marketing. Now direct marketing is basically sales team of insurance company who directly connects with you and try to get it. So agents are not direct employees, but direct marketing employees are direct employees of the companies and they try to sell insurance. Then a new platform that has appeared is D2C, direct to customers. So typically, if you go online and buy insurance, so this is the channel called as D2C channel or online channel. Advantage for you and me and for all of us in D2C channel is the commission rates are nil or negligible in this channel because there is no middleman involved. So typically, I will advise you to go to this channel, log on to company website and buy insurance plan. Only thing is, in future, if there is anything, you will have to directly connect with the companies and there will be no middle person. Again, that is up to us. I mean, as per our convenience, but I think a new generation should definitely prefer this D2C channel. But it comes with a lot of discipline. One more channel is brokers. Now there are brokers who have tie up with multiple companies, and if you approach them, then they will tell you plan of different companies, and you have to select, and they will coordinate with that company to help you with that plan. So we have seen five different channels: agency, where agents are there; then banca channel, DM direct marketing, then direct to customer, and brokers. Now since all these are sales, typically it's like a sales job. I mean, even if you are a graduate, you can start your sales career in insurance. And again, there are multiple things. There's a lot of commission involved. Only thing is you have to be persistent here. You have a good connect with the customer because one happy customer will get 10 happy customers for you. And there are and it's again a sales force that company focuses on. They invest on so that the sales once a satisfied sales force is there, definitely they will get the top line for company. So this was about sales. About non-sales, this is one area which I want more discussion to happen here. So again, non-sales, there are again two types of teams. One is front end, another is back end. Now, when I say front end, these are the staff which typically work out of branch. Now, there will be a branch in Mumbai, there will be a branch in Pune, one in Calcutta, Bhubaneswar, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad. So, operations people sitting out of that branch, we call it as front end staff. So, it's not about branch also, it's about contact center also. So, front end or customer facing operation staff is branch operations and contact center. So contact center basically they connect with customer through calls. It's either inbound call or outbound call. So if inbound means customer will call for any queries or some information. For outbound, it is basically calling customer to remind them of paying premium, to know if there's anything, any requirement, or to cross sell any product. So basically, front end teams in operations, non-sales are branch operations and contact center. Backend operations, there are multiple teams involved. As I said, there are various milestones in a policy, and hence there are multiple teams which keeps on working on it. Now, number one is accounts. Accounts team. Again, insurance involves a lot of exchange of premium, paying of claim, and everything. So it is accounts team who are responsible for that, who tie up with branch. They ensure that day-to-day collection is handled, reconciliations are done, and at the same time, correct premium is applied to correct policy because number of transactions are humongous in insurance industry. Just imagine a life cycle of 30 years, and every year if I'm adding 3-4 lakh customers, so it's going to double every year, and hence number of transactions also keep on increasing. So it is a part of accounts team. At the same time, there are multiple vendors with whom we tie up. Like vendors, if you get your medicals done, so there's a aggregator who with whom we tie up and they coordinate with customers. Or if you want to dispatch anything, any communication, then again it's a vendor. If you have outsourced any of our activities, it's coordination with vendor. So all this vendor management, their billing part, payment part is also managed by accounts. So accounts department is also one of the critical functions. They have multiple sub departments within accounts to manage different things. Uh, and typically here again, commerce background or usually CAs are also preferred. If you are a CA, then you get a better profile to handle. There are audit teams also, internal audit, statutory audits, etc. So in accounts, it may if even if you are a graduate in commerce, you are welcome. You will get an entry level job, and if you are CA, then also you have a job in accounts team. Typically, if you ask me salary ranges for an entry level commerce, it will be around 3 lakhs as an entry level without any experience. Only things you have to crack the interview, of course, that goes without saying that. And typically, a fresh CA, they are usually hired at 10, between 10 and 15 lakhs. So that is how the structure is for accounts. Then after accounts, then we have audit and risk management. Again, these are very critical functions in insurance. It is more from risk management. Now, audit, since there are a lot of financial transactions involved, continuously audits are going on every month. Auditors are there and they are behind you to check different things because a lot of payout happens at claims at maturity. So chances of fraud are there, someone misusing amount, someone intimating a false claim or fraudulent claim. So all these things continuously keep on happening. There's a separate team who keeps on checking if all the requests what we are getting is genuine. There is because some assureds are minimum is 1 lakh, then it goes to 10 lakh, 15 lakhs, or any. There's no limit for that. So chances of fraud are there, and it happens. And there are, and I have seen. I mean, the way these teams work, they keep on cracking different frauds. They take action. They connect with police. They connect with the internal legal department, etc. And they ensure that these frauds are negligible or minimum, or there are no frauds. So they keep on doing this. Audit team keeps on checking if all the processes are happening as agreed, as per what is mentioned in SOPs. So if there's any deviation, they question why it is happening. Because again, there's a risk of fraud. Any employee doing a fraud or in collaboration with agents. So they keep on checking it. So after accounts, we saw about this audit and risk management. Typically, risk management again in this again CAs are preferred because CA are the people who are trained for audit, who are trained to identify risk, and who are trained to know how the premium flows and reconciliation is done. And if there's any deviation in a normal process, they are basically trained to identify all these deviations. After audit, the next and most critical department in insurance is actuarials. Now, actuarial, many people do not know what do you mean by this, but in a simple language, if you call, these are the people who predict number of deaths. Now, insurance is about risk. Insurance about predicting deaths. Now, how premium is calculated? It's a simple logic. I mean, on the basis of their past experience, all the past data available, they will predict in this age group. For example, in age group of 40, X number of deaths will happen this year. They predict it, and companies then plan accordingly. That if I am getting X number of deaths, then I have to keep this much amount aside to pay the premium, to pay the claim amount. So actual team is constantly working on it. They price the product. How much premium should be charged for this product? Is product going to be sold only in cities or in only in rural areas, or it is going to be sold across? Whether medicals will be done or not done. If medicals are done, comparatively premiums are lesser. If medicals are not done, there's a risk to company because they don't know about customer. Then the premiums are high. So they are the people who keeps on uh, calculating pricing and keep on checking whether the predictions are as expected. If number of deaths are more than what were expected, the company's calculations will go for a toss. If they are less, then of course company will have more amount in their reserve. So by now you would have known that with this background, you need people who have got a good statistical and mathematical background. This is one of the niche areas in insurance. And to be an actuarial person, you have to be certified by Actuarial Society of India. So there are again different levels of certifications. You have to go through it. And if you have a good statistics and maths background, I'm sure it will be very easy for you to crack. And those who are with this background, I think you should give a shot to it. Even if you are not in insurance, but you have this science, you have interest in maths and statistics, you should apply. You should go to ASI, Actuarial Society of India site, register yourself, and you clear 1 or 2 papers, and this job will be at your desk. I mean, companies will be behind you to hire you. And then of course you can keep on increasing your certifications and knowledge in this field. So actuary is one of the niche department in insurance industry. They keep on working on pricing and predicting claims and other things. And of course, I mean, there's one more department called admin department, who ensure that all the branches, all the offices, all the facilities are in place for employees. So typically, insurance company has 20 to 30,000 employees, including sales. If you exclude sales, they have around 6 to 7,000 employees. They have branches spread across India. Typically, branches vary from 300 to 500 branch across India, including corporate office, regional offices, zonal offices, etc. It is admin team who keeps on coordinating with local vendors, with local landlords, then we have different facility management providers who provide these services and ensure that the normal work keeps on going and they keep on supporting the staff. Then we have a customer service department. Now, in customer service, typically, as name signifies, they are there to connect with customer. I mean, if there's any customer requirement, customer will connect first with customer service department. They will accept the request and then they will give to backend teams for processing the request. So again, for customer service, a normal graduation would suffice. But again, here this is not a niche department, and often people keep on hopping from customer service to contact center to branch operations where they keep on meeting customers. Then claims is another important department because this is the department, the last department I will say in a policy life cycle, the last department from where the payout happens, payout happens. Now, when any claim intimation happens, they go through they scrutinize all the documents. They check whether death is genuine or ingenuine, just to rule out fraud claims. They investigate. Typically, if claims are early, these are investigated to rule out any fraudulent act. Then they connect with nominees, get their bank details, and as once the claim is eligible for payout, they pay the claim. So that is what the claims department do. Again, internally, claims department is always in touch with legal department. They are in touch with risk department, or they are in touch with market conduct department. Basically, market conduct or risk department, they invest. If there's any investigation in the claim, they go on the field. They check if the claim is genuine, the person was genuine, and all these background checks are done by these departments. So this was about claims. Again, for claims, typically in life insurance, at least you should have some medical knowledge. Typically, pharma graduates. If you are a doctor, then also you are welcome. Definitely, your knowledge will be of more important. And there are also claims assessors. I mean, even if you are from a non-medical background, if you are a non-medico, you can get this job. Basically, with experience, you will learn how to scrutinize document and how to identify fraudulent and non-fraudulent claims. But typically, if you are non-medico, then it will be an entry-level job in claims. And if you have a medical background, of course, I mean, there's no end to that. I mean, sky is the limit then, because number of since insurance is penetration is increasing, the business is increasing, number of claims will also grow up. And this is one field which is difficult to automate 100% because there will be some human intervention required to assess the claims. Of course, small value claims can be automated up to some limit, but this is one department which will never be automated 100%. Then after claims, as I mentioned, legal and compliance. Legal department is department which manages all the litigations. Now there will be some unsatisfied customers who will go to courts, who will go to ombudsman, and they will file a case against insurance company. So legal department manages all these things. They have a team spread across India so that they can represent company in local courts also. At the same time, legal team also works on several internal documents, especially when a new product is launched. They work on different product terms and conditions, ensure that everything is mentioned there, and there is no gray area left in that. So this is what legal team. Of course, as I said, legal team, the background has to be a law graduate. They are welcome there. and typically this team consists of all law graduates only. Then we have marketing team. Again, marketing is one of the important teams because insurance, as I said, awareness is very less, and it is a job of marketing team to ensure that they keep on spreading awareness of insurance products. So in marketing, there will be two types of teams. One is internal communications, where they keep on generating awareness within internal employees. As I said, insurance is a complex product, so they keep on increasing awareness on various factors within internal customers. And of course, for external customers, they keep on spreading awareness through various advertisements and commercials. After marketing, operations is one of the critical departments. Now, operations, when you apply for a policy, a agent typically submits in branch. Then at branch, they do various checks. They check your KYC. They check if the premium is correctly collected. They go through the policy and all the proposal forms and documents submitted, and then the policy is issued. So this part is done by backend operations team. So their work doesn't end here. Once the policy is issued, they coordinate with vendor to get this policy document dispatched. Even after dispatch, other milestone starts. I mean, as I said, it's a 20, 30 year old year product. So at every milestone, operations keeps on working on it to serve customer needs. And it's again a huge team. Most of the processes are now being automated with the advent of online customers presence is online. So there are various technologies where they work on it and ensure that instantly their requests are satisfied. Then we already have discussed about sales. Then underwriting is one critical field. As I said, actuarial department keeps on working on pricing and other aspects of insurance which are very critical. Underwriting team is one team who keeps on assessing whether they should be issuing this policy. They assess risk if it's a substandard risk, or if they feel that the customer is unhealthy, then they will ask to go for medicals. They may charge extra premium. So they go through medicals, they go through financials of the customer. Again, insurance is usually for every customer, they calculate human life value. And it should not happen that we are trying to take advantage of insurance. That if I'm, say, I'm earning 1 lakh rupees, and if in case of unfortunate event, my beneficiary should not get 50 lakhs. It should be in proportion to what I am earning. So it's not only about medical to assess the health, it's about financials also to ensure that any customer is not over insured. So that is very critical, and this job is done by underwriting. Now, after actuarial, underwriting is another niche field where expertise is required. Typically, in underwriting department, you get people from pharma background, from medical background. Of course, if you are from these two departments, then I mean, again, there's no there's no limit to this say. But even if you are from non-pharma background or non-medical background, like if I've seen many of my commerce graduate colleagues, they have excelled in this department. So initially they start with financial underwriting. They go through ITRs, different profit and loss statements, etc. They try to assess financial eligibility of the customer, and that is how they start. And slowly then they upgrade their knowledge to read various medical reports, and many of them have excelled well in this field. Of course, that they take some time to understand about medical reports, but they are very good in financial underwriting of these customers. So in underwriting department, commerce background, they typically start at entry level job in underwriting department. If you are medical or pharma background, yes, I mean, then nothing like that. Then you just focus on assessing the risk and accepting the proposals. And one more field is quality management. This department keeps on checking whether everything is correctly happening or not. If there's any trend which is not as expected, they immediately highlight it so that internal teams, there are internal training teams, learning and development teams, HR teams. They work on the module and then they train those people so that this deviation is not there. They ensure that quality is maintained throughout. Again, the objective is standard quality across. So this was, I mean, I've taken a lot of time, but these are multiple departments available in insurance. With growing industry, number of employees is definitely going to increase. Of course, these insurance companies are also focusing on automation. I have missed automations and other things. There's a separate IT department. who keeps on working on systems, because if large data, if you see insurance proposal, it is 5 to 6 pager form. Now, in this 5 to 6 page form, per customer we capture around more than 100 fields, more than 100 data is captured, and it's a personal data. Now saving the data in the system, then using different analytics, there's data available with us humongous. Customers data, his nominees data, his family details. So there's a separate data analytics team who keeps on churning data to see the trend. And nowadays with artificial insurance, machine learning, and with huge database, there's a lot of scope. Still companies are struggling to reach at that height. Then we have IT team who keeps on working on systems. IT, again, there are two parts. One is IT infra, whose whose job is to ensure that desktop, laptops are provided, all the hardware is provided across. An IT application team who focuses on softwares, different applications which are used by insurance companies. And again, of course, BSG team, like business solution team, where there are business analytics. So business analyst. So basically, business analyst typically comes from engineering background. Usually, what I've seen, because they excel in this. I mean, they try to convert business language into software language so that it is easier for IT to code a system accordingly. So typically, with this, I mean, insurance is for everybody. Whatever background you have, you will get a job in insurance. Only thing is that your background or your academics will define whether it is entry level job or it is managerial job. But yes, I mean, once you are into it, entire, I mean, there's you can spend a lot of years working in it. You can shift from one department to other, use your experience, and you can keep on growing in insurance. And yes, insurance, as I said, it is going to grow from here. Number of jobs will also grow. Yeah. So I
That's
think I've
true.
tried to
I
cover.
love. Yeah. So you try to cover the whole the back end as well as the front end job of the insurance sectors. So I also even know these particular sectors. So yeah, about the inside the insurance, so many departments and so many different people they're working in the front end and back end. I also don't know these particular things. Yeah, it was unknown to me. So it's a given you the your answer is given the clear eye to the each and every individual those who are listening to us. So definitely, so it's starting from the normal become graduates to the doctors. Everyone can jump into the industry. So if they want to
Correct.
grow, if they
CAs.
want to, yeah, correct, correct.
So it is CAs, doctors, advocates, everybody is welcome to insurance, and everybody can contribute to the growth of insurance in India.
That's true. It's from the IT to the everyone, engineers, everyone
Yes,
can jump into the industry. That's a great
correct.
opportunity, yeah, Santosh. So yeah, so I would say
Yeah.
so. If anyone is interested to this particular sector, if you feel that you want to build your career in this insurance sector, so you can definitely look into this particular video, look into this particular the discussions where Santosh has explained very well about the each and every sector of the inside the insurance company itself. So you can jump into the things based on your qualification or you can upgrade yourself. Move into the next topics. Yep. So as you already told exactly my next question, so what jobs insurance makes the most money? So you told already, I believe. So the actual department, am I correct if I pronounced
Yes.
correctly? So that is the one
Yeah.
of the most critical department in the insurance sector, I believe, and where the most of the money flows if somebody get into that particular opportunity. If the is my
Correct.
answer is correct, or do you want to yeah add something on
Yes,
top
yes,
of
you're
it?
perfectly fine. That is one of the niche areas in insurance, actuarial
Yeah.
department. Everyone strives for that. Not many people know. So, as I told
Mm.
earlier, if you are interested in maths, if you have interest in statistics, so even if you are in college studying statistics, please go to Actuarial Society of India website and get
Mhm.
yourself certified. So there are various levels. At least clear first paper, and then job will be ready for you. Insurance companies will be ready to take up them. Just get
Yeah.
certified through Actuarial Society of India, and then you can continue throughout your life in actuaries as an actuary in insurance.
Yeah. That's great, Santosh. So for your time, yeah. So I believe so. Yeah, you have covered up the most of the insurance sectors with the one questions and giving the depth knowledge to the people those who are listening to us. So I would say thank you to each one of you. So those who are listening to us, thank you, Mr. Santosh, for your time and explain to my audience. So those who are really looking for a job into the insurance sector. So thank you, Santosh. Have a good day. Good night to each and every individual, those who are listening to us. My humble request to each one of you from bottom of my heart. So I want everyone should move forward in their career and they should not feel uh, any kind of the challenges, whatever the challenges we have faced in our career journey, and we have overcome somehow. But the thing is that, and that kind of the knowledge I want to share through this particular channel. So keep on watching us. So every Sunday we are doing this kind of the show. So different kind of the industry, all the leaders, I'm trying to bring them and share their knowledge so that the people get benefited out of that. Thank you, Mr. Santosh. Have a good night and good day to you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.